Now, number one has a keyword in it. Number one has a keyword in it. What is the keyword?
Product.
Product. So what kind of problem is this?
Multiplication.
Multiplication. So I'm going to rewrite it as a multiplication problem to help myself visualize what's happening. Okay, can you see now what you need to do?
Yeah.
How am I going to find the product? All you need to do is distribute or use the claw. Now, it's been a long, long time since we've done this. You need to remember two things. Number one, multiply coefficients or multiply the big numbers. Number two, add exponents or add the little numbers. And what if there is no exponent? What is the exponent? 1. Okay, good. Now, -3 times 1 is x to the 4th. 2 plus 2 is 4. Why? Negative times a negative is positive. 3 x to the third. What's 1 plus 1? 2. -3 times +1. X squared y to the third. Product, multiplication problem. All you got to do is distribute. Multiply coefficients, add exponents. Questions on number 1. Dose. Complete the quadratic chart below. A little laggy. How do you know the vertex is 2? 2.
Because the 2 on the outside and 2 on the inside of the 22.
What do you do with this
Trying
one?
to get to switch,
You switch it, so -2 becomes +2.
and that will stay fine.
This one comes straight down. Okay, good memory. Now, before we can find the discriminant, watch this. I'm going to take you down a long rabbit hole, long rabbit trail. The discriminant. Do we remember what formula that is?
Yes, b squared minus 4ac.
Which is part of x equals -b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. Good, okay? Which will be, of course, important for you to remember tomorrow. Now, look at this equation. Can I get a, b, and c from this?
No, because the
No. This is in vertex form. It's meant to tell me the vertex. I can't find a, b, and c from vertex form.
Standard form.
I have to convert it to standard form. Now, we're going to use several old tricks to convert it to standard form. We're going to use FOIL, and we're going to use combined like terms. Okay, are you ready? What was the first one?
4.
No, the first one? Order of operations. What was the next one? Okay, FOIL. What was the last one? All right, here we go. It's going to take a second now, so stay focused. -2 x minus 2 squared plus 2. All pencils should be moving. This is going to be comprehensive. Order of operations first. What do I start with?
Parentheses.
Okay, x minus 2. Can I simplify that at all?
No.
No, why? They're not like terms. So we're done in the parentheses. What's next?
The exponent.
The exponent. So what I have to do is this. X minus 2 squared. And let me ask you some questions here. What does 8 squared mean? It means 8 times 8. What does 10 squared mean?
10 times 10.
What does x minus 2 squared mean?
8 times 8.
X minus 2
X minus 1.
times x minus 2. And what do you do with this?
Discrete. Multiply it.
How do you multiply two binomials?
4.
Foil. I'm going to fast foil, okay? What does F stand for?
First.
So that means x times x, which is what?
No, X squared.
X squared. Let me write these in a different color here for you. What are the outside terms?
X minus 2.
X times negative 2.
Negative 2x.
Good. Inside terms, or inner.
Negative 2 and X.
Negative 2 times x is negative 2x.
And 4.
Last terms,
Positive.
negative 2 times negative 2, positive 4.
Then you combine that term.
Good.
Negative 2x and negative 2x. It's going to give you negative 4x squared. No, negative 4x.
Good. Don't touch the exponent over there. Don't touch it. Okay, so we've got negative 2, and then we've got something new over here. What are we going to put in parentheses now?
X squared.
X squared.
Minus 4x plus 4.
All right, now I told you. I said prepare yourself. First, we've got order of operations. So we did parentheses, and then we did the exponent. I said after order of operations, you're going to have FOIL. Okay, so we did FOIL. Last but not least,
Distribute property.
distribute, and then we will combine like terms. Okay, so let's distribute here.
Negative 2x squared.
Just make sure. Let me. My goal is to make sure that everyone can follow this. So I'm going to use lots of different colors, make it really, really clear. Please excuse my
Dear Aunt Sally.
dear Aunt Sally. Multiplication. Negative 2 times x squared.
Plus 8x minus 8.
Plus 2 comes down. Finally, last but not least, don't die over there. Combine like terms. What do those combine to?
6.
What kind of 6 though?
Negative 6.
Subtracting keeps the higher sign.
Or it's small.
All right, good. Guess what? You're done. You converted it. Converted to standard form. X squared, x, no x. Okay, so here we go. Yes, this will be up on the website.
Now can we do the discriminant?
Someone said, now can we do the discriminant? Yes. Now you're ready, right? Okay. Let's slow down for 1 second. Let's let people catch up. So how did we convert again? We used the order of operations. We FOILed. We distributed and combined like terms. You know, it's all skills. It's all skills. Some of them you learned in Algebra 1. We practiced them earlier this year, and now we just got to use them all together. Okay, Brianna, can you give me A, B, and C?
A is negative 2. B is 8x.
Just 8.
C is negative 6.
Awesome. Okay. Write my equation for me. Ladarius, back there. Can you write my equation for me over here? Not really equation. Write my expression. A, B, C. Right here.
Negative 2 squared
Start with B.
equals
What's B? Can you see what b is?
B gonna be 8
Okay, so say 8 squared minus what?
2
What's a? What kind of 2?
negative
Yeah, be careful there. What's c?
negative 6.
Yep. Okay. Did we calculate it yet?
16.
Yeah, I think I agree. 16. 64 minus, it looks like we've got 8 times 6, so 68 minus 64 minus 48. I agree, 16.
Yes, 2.
So Jordan, what is the number and type of solutions?
2 roots. What's that nine?
What kind of roots?
2 pair roots. 2 with. I forgot the 9 is.
There's blank and there's blank.
2 real roots. 2 real roots.
2 real roots, good. What's the opposite of real?
Right? Imaginary.
Imaginary, right, imaginary. All right, good, almost done. Factored, and then we're going to find the roots and the zeros. Okay, factored form. So we need to take this and factor it. Take a look. So all of a sudden, let's say that this is an equation. Let me pick a different color and let's start factoring. How would you?
Right on Friday, 'cause I know we ain't gonna have
That's
that.
fine. What's the first step to factor this?
Find the GCL.
There we go. Find a GCF. And what's the biggest thing that these have in common?
2.
What kind of 2 though?
Negative.
Yeah, do you see how the leading coefficient there is negative? So let's factor out a negative 2. Oh, okay, I understand. Extend page. I see your hand. Hold on one second. There we go. Oh. Okay. Oh my goodness. Technology. Okay, you said negative 2. What was the hand over here? Do you have your restroom pass? Okay. I need a restroom pass.
I think it's gonna be 4 and 3.
X squared. What's 8 divided by negative 2?
Negative 4. Hey, I just said it.
Negative 6 divided by negative 2. That's 3. Is that all the factoring I can do? Must be done. Wait, what else can I do?
You can bring him X down.
Okay. I think I know what you mean.
X.
I think I'll be
Minus
2.
2.
No point 2.
Nope.
4.
Wait, what number are we looking at? What factors are we finding here?
4 and 3. No, we found 3. 1. 3.
Yeah, there's only one way to get 3.
Minus.
This one part I be getting plus negative.
Minus and positive.
Plus 1. The 3 gonna be negative and the 1 gonna be.
What kind of 3 do I have to
The
make?
3 gonna be negative and 1 gonna be plus.
What kind of 3 do I need to make?
Negative.
It's got to be a positive 3. So what can I multiply to get a positive 3 but get a negative in the middle? Negative times negative is positive. Negative plus a negative stays negative. Come on now, y'all knew that. All right, we factored. Negative 2 times x minus 1 times x minus 3. Note to self. Holy moly.
X equals cosine
What were our factors again?
Negative 2, parentheses, x, minus 1.
That's right. I remember now.
Yeah, don't do. So x minus 1 equals 0.
There you go.
Or x minus 3 equals 0.
Look, before you go any further, let's please use some mental math here. So, what's going to be the step right here? Don't write it down, just think it. Add 1 to both sides. So what's 0 plus 1? What's the step over here?
3.
Add 3 to
Add
both
three on
sides.
both sides, so it's gonna be x equals
0 plus 3 is 3. You see, once we get to a certain point, we can start taking shortcuts like that, where we don't have to write down every single step. So x equals 1, or now, is this a point? You might think it is,
No.
but it doesn't have parentheses. You see how this has parentheses?
So 2 and 2 is the
This is a point. This is set notation. So this means 1 or 3.
So you go to the right one.
Let's go to our graph. So let's graph the vertex.
Right 2. Up 2.
Now, something you probably forgot is that the zeros, do you remember on your calculator how you would go right, and it would pop up and say what?
0.
0. The zeros are just where the graph touches the x-axis. Remember that? So if I go right 1, there's 1 right there.
Go down.
And if I go right 3, there's 1 right there.
Oh.
Now let's make sure this makes sense. Which way should it open?
Downwards.
Yep, since it's negative, it's got to open down.
And why? It gotta be like this.
And since there's a 2, it's going to be compressed. Woo! All right, I told you I had it prepared for you. This is pretty much everything we've done the past 4 weeks. Okay, so that right there is a good exam review. Coach and Tees?
He got to the office.
Good. How are you, Mr. Guys?
He got right now.
No problem. I'll have it ready. Oh, for Calvin Smith? Okay, no problem. No, I didn't. Someone must have. Mhm. Okay, great. Okay. Questions? Big day tomorrow. I'm not tricky. I'm not trying to hide anything from you. I like to make you think, but I'm never going to try to trick you. Okay? I'm showing you everything that's going to be on the exam.
You tricked us last year.
I'm let.
When he gave us that work, we ain't not know. When it was an exam, I think it knew what it was. We looked at that, we were like, what is he looking at? I'm for real. He sounds like
You needed to think. All right, take your warm up, set it aside. Look at today's notes. 10, 9, 8, 7. Alright, most of this I want you to work on your own. But I do want to address a couple quick things. Take a deep breath over there. Chill out. Sketch the graph, easy. Translations, easy. Okay, it says it shifted down 6 units. If it went down 6, and here's the equation. It says x squared minus 1. So what part of the equation tells me up or down? The very end. The very end. So if it goes down 6 more, if it was already a -1 and then it goes down 6 more, where would it stop at?
Same.
Yeah, so which one is the correct answer?
D.
D. Does that make sense? So look at the original graph. Consider the translation. Kyra,
What we write for?
do you have your restroom pass? Bring it on up. Is there a question over here? Denise?
What we write for? The translation, A, you know, right there you say parentheses move, but I.
Inside parentheses moves horizontally. Outside moves vertically. And remember, inside parentheses is backwards or opposite. So if it says -4, you might think that that would mean left 4, but -4 means right 4. So the horizontal shift is backwards. Why? Look at the minus sign right there. The minus sign is why it's messed up. It's the opposite. Okay? Take your paper and flip it over. Hard work. What values of x make the function 0, or where the graph crosses the... So this is what we were just talking about with 1 and 3. If 1 and 3 are the solution or the root or the 0, that's where the graph crosses the x-axis. See, look at how some of these problems are just really to make you think. I'm just trying to make you think, that's all. Look at number 7. Read that for me. You getting Calvin's work? Right there.
And Daniel makes it.
Daniel 2. Go to that back black thing. And I think there are 2 or 3 sheets right there. Pick up those 2.
Average Coach says
Okay, go ahead and read them, Ms. Moore.
Monique found the zeros of the function y equals 6x squared plus 19x plus 3 to be -1/6 and -3. What are the roots of the equation? 6x squared plus 19x equals -3.
Okay. So, that's good.
So,
What do we think about this?
Looks like it's 0. How would it be the root?
Here's what I'm looking at. These 2 are pretty similar, aren't they?
Yes.
What's the difference?
Plug or and it's equal.
Right. But wait a second. All of this is on the same side of the equation. Do you see that?
Mm-hmm.
With y by himself. But this is on 2 separate parts. So what would I have to do to make this equal to 0? Yeah, add 3 to both sides. And if I do that, do you notice now my equations are what?
The sign.
Can you see that now? So all they did is they took it and they moved the 3 to the other side. But what they don't want you to realize is that these two equations are what? The same. And if the equation is the same, then what else is the same?
The answer.
So which answer choice do we like here?
Jack.
So see how sneaky they are.
Jack.
They're trying to make you think. And I love it.
Will.
How do you make it go?
You got to keep it.
Yep, gotta keep it. Yep. All right, do we remember the quadratic formula? Do we remember?
X equals negative b plus minus 4. B squared minus 4 is equal to 2a. Oh, I know that joint.
You were absent today. We learned it too, weren't you?
Yup.
See? So you can still learn it.
Yeah, Jack.
So, you know, if you need that, you can go ahead and put it right here.
Negative b.
It's always easiest to solve an equation by factoring, you know? It's easiest to solve it by factoring. But if you can't factor it, you can always use the quadratic formula. Anytime you want to, you can use it. Anytime.
So C gonna be 0.
C gonna be 0.
Yeah, whatever. Never mind. You go.
You talking about this one?
Yeah.
No, C would not be 0. You need to add 3 to both sides. Whenever you use the quadratic formula, make sure you set it equal to. It's got to be equal to 0. So this one right here, you know, we would cancel it, and then it would say. That's what I'm looking for right there. Then you could find A, B, and C. Of course, you could also, watch this, you could also graph this, and then menu trace, graph trace. You could also trace the graph to find the zeros, which is actually one of my favorite ways to answer pretty much any problem. If the discriminant is positive, what did we say? Too real. Antonio, what if it's negative? How many imaginary? What if the discriminant is 0, Anthony? One real. One real. One real. Okay, got some more good thinking questions here that you'll have to work out. This has great answer choices. I love it. And on the very back, you've got a little reminder about quadratic regression. You know, so regression is just listen spreadsheets. X1A and Y1A. Good, doc. Insert. You know, at that point, you've got the dots just kind of floating around. We got to tell them where to go. So you'll do tab and all that stuff. Tab,
Tab
enter,
down,
tab down, enter. Okay. If you want the equation, then you can say menu, analyze, regression. So, you've got a question that says find the quadratic model or find the equation. I want to know what's the correlation coefficient. And you got to make a prediction here. How high will it be after 2.5 seconds? And then you got some other stuff down here at the end in the homework section. But of course, all of this is homework.
The whole pack?
Whole packet. Okay. All right, so I will let you get to work. And you've got about 10 minutes left. I would do the stuff that requires a calculator first. That way you got that done, so when you take it home, you can be working on the rest. And I'll let you know when it's time to pack up.